of curious about. This is the end of Wolverine's story or whatever. But, if Jean and Cyclops and Rogue and Iceman and all of them are dead, and Xavier dies in this, and it is just Wolverine with X-23, going off in the sunset, how do you continue the X-Men franchise?
I think Hugh Jackman has said this is a completely different timeline, and that's what
he was wrong, though. The director came out and said that that's not what he meant. Yeah, it does take place 5 years after the epilogue of Days of Future Past.
Oh, okay.
So it can't be a completely different timeline.
It's all confusing. I don't even think they know what they want.
See, it makes sense because X-Men 1, 2, and 3 all take place consecutively.
Yeah.
And then we go into First Class, which is a prequel. Okay. And then we had the Wolverine origins somewhere in there, but that one has been wiped clean. That one didn't happen as far as I'm concerned. I think they legitimately just ignore that one.
They do, because the Wolverine is supposed to be the
Wolverine is the sequel
not origin
to X-Men
story.
3.
Yeah.
It takes place after X-Men 3 because he's in exile from killing
Jean. Yeah.
And then after First Class, you have Days of Future Past, which takes place after the end of the Wolverine, where you see Magneto and Professor X come to him and say, hey, we need your help, and they set up the Sentinels. Yeah. And then sometime later in the future, many years later, they've been fighting against the Sentinels, and that's when Days of Future Past start. They send Wolverine back in time. Yeah. It changes the timeline, right?
My head hurts.
And then you get the epilogue in there, which is Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Epilogue. But then you have Apocalypse happen, which actually just happened. I mean, it happened right after the Wolverine leaves the past in Days of Future Past. So
but it's still in the past.
Apocalypse is in the right timeline, but it's in the past.
Yeah.
So in the epilogue of Days of Future Past, Apocalypse already happened.
Excuse me.
So now you have Logan, which takes place after Days of Future Past. So really the only outlier in all of these movies that could take place in an alternate timeline is X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Like you said, that doesn't count.
And it doesn't count because that's been erased because of Deadpool and obviously just other things. Apocalypse was not very good.
I don't think you can use Apocalypse as a thing.
I can, I will, I am.
No, you can. I just...
same production company, same studio heads.
No, it is, but they're using the same director as the Wolverine, right? If I'm not
James
mistaken.
Mangold?
Yeah, he did X-Men.
He did the Wolverine?
He did the Wolverine.
Okay. Well, that's
and I think they
positive.
treat, other than X-Men Origins Wolverine, which we said doesn't exist, but the Wolverine was treated a little bit differently than the actual X-Men franchise.
Yes, and I like the Wolverine. I just don't like the ending.
That's fine.
Last third act of the Wolverine, that movie falls apart because, we have to have him fighting a giant robot. And if a giant robot shows up in the third act in this movie, I'll be very disappointed.
Oh, he's going to fight some big baddie.
He doesn't need to be a big baddie. Why does it have to be a big baddie? Why can't it be a more personal story?
I don't know.
See, that's my problem with all comic book movies now. It's always about upping the ante. Why don't you tell a personal story? Like Batman is always saving Gotham, or he's saving the world, right? Why don't you do Die Hard? Do the movie Die Hard with Batman in Arkham Asylum. Make it not him fighting a big baddie. He's fighting for his life. Yeah. I mean, who cares about saving the world? How about you have him fight for his life? To me, that would be more interesting.